I'm going to start out like this. Here we go. I'm going to start out like this. Like this. Gather round. Gather round. Gather round, clowns. Michael Molthan, Into the Rock, coming to you live from Dallas, Texas, baby, the D-Town, the 214, where we talk about drug addiction. Yep. Drug addiction. We talk about addictions. We talk about alcoholism. We talk about hurts, habits, and hangups. But most importantly on this show, we talk solutions, baby. Spiritual solutions for my human problems. Welcome, everyone, to Into the Rock that don't stop. We're coming on at, see, I need to move to 7 o'clock. That way my rap will rhyme. Coming on at 7:30 just ruins the whole thing. All right, guys, y'all know what to do. Get this shared out. Get this shared out to your groups. It's No Messy Monday on Into the Rock. I need your questions. This is a group show on Monday nights. And so real quick, like y'all all have been doing, I just got the notification. Let's get this shared out. Let's share this out. There he is, the great Rick Bisbee, RB. Now listen, because I know he's got to jump off here real soon. Y'all see this guy right here, Rick? You see him in the comments right there? Are y'all ready? 15 years of continuous sobriety. That man right there, Rick Bisbee Jr., Marcelli, my man, and this guy spreads the message of hope. He'll be chairing a support group meeting here tonight in about 30 minutes. But I texted him today, and we actually posted him on our Facebook stories, the great Smoots at Gangway Advertising. They do all of our social media for us. Got that out there, and we wanted to make sure that Rick knew and heard that today is his birthday. 15 years of continuous sobriety. This guy works the program. I mean, this guy goes to meetings. He works the steps. He calls his sponsor. He reaches out. He texts me. He reaches out to me. And this guy's all about spreading the message of hope. Rick, we love you. Thank you. Everything that you do in the recovery community. So, all right, guys. All right. When you share this out in the comments, do hashtag shared. Hashtag shared. That way we know that you got it. That's your donation. That's your service work. That is your service work for Into the Rock, is to get this shared out so everybody can see it. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to take our time, and we're going to get, 19 shares already. I see you. Good job, guys. That's awesome. So let's get this shared out. I'm going to get it on my, there we go, on our channel there. And let me get it on my, if you haven't done so, make sure that you go to, when we're done, Michael Molthan. We have a fan page now, Michael Molthan's fan page. So we will put that in there after the show, that y'all can go and like that and follow. That's where I'll be posting, stuff, personal stuff, family pictures that I want to share with y'all, and pictures of Rachel, Stacy, and I, and let y'all in our life. We're very transparent. So, Rick, you mean a lot to me, my friend, and we've been riding together for a couple of years now. Our stories are very similar. You did it, bro. You went down. You did it. You did. I just got my hair cut, but you went down there and you did the most. And Rick's got a great story. We're going to get him on the show one time. We're going to get him on the show, and he's always been good to me. And I go 90 miles an hour, and he'll text me, and I'll return his text 2 days later, and I'm feeling bad, but he's always full of love. And so, yes, Rick. Look at Rick. Everybody, hashtag Rick if you're just jumping on. Rick Bisbee Jr. He is here in Texas. Incredible, works an incredible program. Is celebrating 15 years of continuous sobriety. He used to live in the concrete jungle. So if you don't want to know what the concrete jungle is, message me. I'm not going to put them all the way out there. If he wants to put in the comments, he can, but he's got a great story. Him and his wife, Amy, and their little Grayson. Rick, you are a great example of recovery. Truly a great example of recovery. So I'll never forget, he came in. He's such a great, him and his family are such great supporters of Rachel Stacey. I mean, they go out and to Rachel's performances, and I'll never forget, Rachel was performing. I can't remember where we were, about an hour from home, out in the middle of nowhere. And here comes Rick and his family. And it was Rachel Stacey and Tank Anthony at some the Red Oak Opry. I believe that's what it was, Rick. But so Rick shows up with his family, and Rachel just killed it. That's what she did. Devil went down to Georgia, and just, it was awesome. It was a great night. It was a fun night. And then they did a raffle, and one of the main prizes was a Brad Paisley. Yeah, Red Oak Opry. Thank you. A Brad Paisley autographed electric guitar. Okay, and guess who won the electric guitar? My man Rick. That's right. He won the electric guitar. Isn't that right, Rick? It was, yeah, you won the guitar, and it was a Brad Paisley. Is that correct? Brad Paisley. So I know it was a big name. So Brad Paisley guitar. You won the guitar. So it was cool. It was a good night, fun night. So once again, Rick Bisbee celebrating 15 years of sobriety. Why do we put that on blast? Okay, listen. If you're watching this show right now and you've been clean and sober for 1 day or 2 days, and Rick will be the first to tell you that's a miracle. What Rick's got, 15 years. Yes, it was Brad Paisley. 15 years, okay, is awesome. But the real miracle is that 1 day, right? If you got 1 day of sobriety right now, man, that is the miracle. You know what the real miracle is day 2. That's the miracle. Day 2 of continuous sobriety is unbelievable. So yes, it does give us hope. Venencia Miller, Johnson, Nelson, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do. So let's get this out there. All right, we can't forget DFW Coin and Jewelry. That's DFW Coin and Jewelry. I'm sporting it. I'm sporting the watch that he wants to sell, man. He's trying to move inventory. I know he's putting some stuff on Rachel, and he's a buyer, but he wanted me to get this on here. And Rick, unfortunately, I can't give this to you for 15 years of sobriety, or we're all in trouble. But anyways, this incredible Breitling watch y'all see me sporting around. Proceeds of the sale of this watch goes to Into the Rock, and he's just moving stuff. But we appreciate everything that DFW Coin and Jewelry does for Into the Rock and Rachel Stacey. He's so good to us, and he's been with us since day 1 of the show. So DFW Coin and Jewelry, go check out his Facebook page, website, and go like his page, and give old Chris a shout out. Give Chris Oyster a shout out. Everything that he does for Into the Rock, and we can't forget our title spot, Healing Springs Ranch. Healing Springs Ranch, a residential treatment center 1 hour north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, tucked away on 80 acres, 9-hole golf course, Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Tina, $28,000. $28,000 for this beautiful Breitling watch. Look at that. You see that? $28,000. Beautiful watch. So I guess there's Rick. Take care, buddy. Thank you for jumping in here. We love you. Yes, $28,000 is the price of the watch. He's just let me buy. I can't afford stuff like that. Okay, but it's neat because I wear it in the events that I go to. I haven't been going to any events lately, but it's opening back up. The world's opening back up. I get out into events, and when I'm emceeing events, Chris puts this nice stuff on me, and people end up buying it. So so DFW Healing Springs Ranch. I was out there on Saturday. I spent 5 hours out there on Saturday. I'm there all day on Thursday. Not all day, but I'm there for about 4 hours on Thursdays, and I was there for 5 hours on Saturday, and spent the weekend with all the residents. Hello, Pam. Hello, Tina. I spent the weekend or Saturday with the residents at Healing Springs Ranch. God, I love doing that. I just love it. I love doing group with people in recovery, especially new people in recovery. Lisa Hoffman, welcome to the show. I'm trying to catch y'all in my right eye when I see y'all jump on here. But it's so great to go out there and to talk to the residents at Healing Springs Ranch. All right, guys, let's lay out the week. Let's lay out the week on M2 The Rock, what we got going on. Hey, tomorrow night, you don't want to miss this. Mrs. Texas 2019. Mrs. Texas 2019. Joyce Morrison will be on M2 The Rock tomorrow night. I said that. Yeah, Miss Texas, Mrs. Texas, Mrs. Texas, not Miss Texas, but Mrs. Texas. Joyce Morrison will be on M2 The Rock tomorrow night. I am so excited about this. I was speaking at an event last year. There was a couple of speakers there, and Joyce was one of the speakers, and she was nervous. She was nervous because it was the first time that she was going to open up about something that she had never talked about. And she did it, and she got a lot of relief, and it was so cool to watch. And she spoke right before me, and it moved me. It took me a second to get my composure to go on stage and to perform, but you know what I mean, to talk, because she was so powerful, and she was so nervous. But the Holy Spirit came in her, and man, she just let go, and she helped so many people, especially women. She is a trauma survivor, and she is going to be talking about that tomorrow night on M2 The Rock. So we don't want to miss that. Pamela Ruda, she's coming back on Thursday. We're going to be talking about love addiction. Deadly. Love addiction. All addictions can eventually end up being deadly, but love addiction, and it's something that she has struggled with, is in recovery about, other than alcohol and all of that. She's recognizing all of her character defects, and one of them is love addiction. And we're going to talk about that. So it's going to be a really healthy show with a male, myself, a female, herself, talking about love addiction. What is love addiction? Well, I mean, how can you be addicted to love? I mean, love is good, right? So we're going to talk about that. So it's going to be a good one. So we're going to be talking about that. We talked about Rick. We talked about Joyce Morrison. We're working on. We've really got a stack full of guests. At Randy Smoot with Gangway Advertising and Cynthia Smoot, our publicist. We had a really good talk on the phone today. We got a pile of people to get on the show now that things are loosening back up. Man, I'm just super excited about the guests that we have that we're working on right now. So I don't even want to tease the names yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So. But anyways, Joyce Morrison tomorrow night. And then Wednesday night, I'm working on somebody. If not, we'll do No Wiggin Wednesday with M2. I'll bring up something, baby. We're going to talk about something. All right. And then Thursday, Pamela Ruda. And then Friday will be an encore show because I will be on the road attending to a Rachel Stacey concert. So I'll be doing that. I'll be doing my step and fetch it task. So had a lot of people messaging me about, speaking of Rachel Stacey. Yes, she does. She signed a contract with the Country Network, and she is going to be doing a TV show once a week, a 1-hour show, interviewing famous country singers and musicians. And she's going to have Rachel's rant. She's going to be talking about fashion, clothes, country music, new upcoming musicians and artists in the country scene. So, and then on top of that, she'll be going back on the road performing. So Rachel Stacey cranking it up. So God is good, baby. God is good. So, but Friday night, we're going to start working on it. Unfortunately, I can talk about this. So she also just signed a deal with the Gaylord Texan. The Gaylord Texan in Dallas, or in Grapevine, out by the airport, is a resident. So she's going to have a residency there on Friday night. So my co-host has left me. And I don't know what to do. So do I go find a new co-host? Can you replace Rachel Stacey? Do I need to go find a new co-host, or should I just get another night, just move her to another night? Just tell me. Y'all, hashtag move her to another night. If you want her to stay on the show, hashtag Rachel Stacey in the comments. So I think I know what the answer to that's going to be. But yeah, Friday nights, she will be at the Gaylord Hotel. Huge place. If y'all ever heard it, it's huge. So she'll be headlining. She is their star attraction on Friday nights. So y'all want to check that out. If you're in town, go check her out. You can go to rachelstacy.com and check. Yes, please. Everybody's saying move her to another night. I will make sure that she's doing that. She's in the studio right now recording. So you may hear her. She's upstairs, but it's pretty muffled. So it's hard to hear. So, all right. So we got that. Also, if y'all have any topics, I really need help. So Caldwell Counseling Center, welcome to the show. We appreciate your support. But if y'all have any topics that you want me to address and talk about, put them in the comments or message us on M2 The Rock. If you have any guest that you would like to refer to be on this show, send me a private message or put it in the comments. No, you can't replace her. You got that right, Joanne. So, but we'll probably move her to another night. Gary Kaufman, she'll be right back. Actually, Gary Kaufman would make a great co-host. If Gary Kaufman were the co-host, we could probably pull off a 3-hour show. I could go take a nap. Gary would talk. I could literally leave. I could go watch Rachel perform. Gary could talk. I could come back. Gary would be talking, and I could do it. All right. Relapse prevention. That's a good one. Yes, relapse prevention is a good one. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Gratitude list. That's a good topic. Balance. Ooh, that's a good one. Balance. We'll talk about that too. Yes, y'all put these topics in there. So, okay, I had a really good phone call today. I had a great phone call today with Judge Jennifer Bennett. So Judge Bennett called me today, and we talk, via text a lot. I talk to all the judges a lot via text, and I've actually been checking on them with what's going on in the world today. I was worried about them. Are y'all doing okay? Are y'all safe? And what's going on? And how can I be of service? So Judge Bennett called me today and said that she's very concerned about the clients, people who are on probation in the Dallas County court system. The good news is that the judges are getting a lot of feedback that they are watching the M2 The Rock show. So, the judges are saying, hey, during the quarantine, here are some links and suggestions to some online support group meetings. We also suggest that you watch M2 The Rock show and stay plugged in, stay connected in some way or form to recovery. Brian, that's a good one right there. Maintenance drug. I just had a conversation about the MAT program the other day. That's a really good one to talk about. What is the MAT program? Maintenance drugs. That's a good one. So anyway, I'm talking to the judge, and she's very concerned about clients in the justice system that are on probation or on parole that are twisting off, getting back out there in the noise, relapsing. Okay. If you're watching the show tonight, I want to give a special announcement from Judge Bennett and the other judges in the Dallas County court system. Don't run. That's the first thing is don't run. If you have relapsed and you are in the middle of a relapse and you're using right now, okay, let me give you, and this is across the country and across the world, if you're in any sort of probation or legal problems, let me give you a suggestion. It is time to, number one, come up for air and ask for help. Okay. That's number one. Let's get honest. All right. And number two is call your probation officer or parole officer immediately. Okay. If there is ever a time to over communicate with your probation officer, now is the time. It is time to be in action. And let me role play that. Call the probation officer and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Probation Officer, this is Michael. I'm on probation. Because of the quarantine and all the new rules, I need to clean my side of the street. I have not been working my program. I have taken advantage of this situation and I have relapsed. and I have watched a show or something has happened and I am taking the suggestions, I don't want to live this way anymore. I'm reaching out to you. I need help. I need help. I want to get back on the beam. I want to get back on track. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to die. I need your help. And I need to know what I need to do today to make it right. All right. I want to suggest that you do that, that it will work in the long, it will work to your advantage. Number one, you will get a sense of relief for getting honest. You will get that sense of relief that you can stop looking over your shoulder. I remember when I was on the run, I was always looking over my shoulder, always. And I was nervous. I was paranoid. I was scared to answer the phone. I was scared to even get on social media. I was terrified. There were times where I would literally get messages on social media from Judge Bennett, okay, saying, "You're not doing right. I need to see you." Okay. I mean, and I was just tripping. I was like, how? They're all over me. Okay. You get to breathe and literally tell the probation, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. I need to get connected. I need help. Okay. Over communicate with. Listen, I'm not a lawyer. But I tell you what, I've done so much time. That I know how this system works. At the end of the day, they do not want, they can't incarcerate us sober. They know that. They want to help us. But let me tell you this. It's going to be their way. It's not going to be my way. If I try to get sober my way, it's not pretty. If I could get sober my way, I would have got sober a long time ago. Are you ready for this? If I could get sober my way, and I knew I could get sober my way, I'd be drunk and high right now. Right? That's that insanity. I would be drunk and high right now and say, you know what? I'm going to go do a 4-day burnout. Okay. And then on Friday, I'm going to get clean and sober my way. How did that work out for you? How did that work out? Not good. Okay. I want to challenge you. If you're on probation right now, or not even on probation, and you're in the middle of a relapse right now, this is what you do. Okay. Number one, if I were to sit down with someone right in the middle of a relapse, this is beautiful how this happens. And if I were to look at them and I say, hey, can you go 50 years without drinking again? That is an unfair question. Let's just talk about alcohol. That's an unfair question. But every single time I'm talking to a wet one, okay, if you don't know what that means, someone who has been drinking, okay, when I'm talking to a wet one and I look at them, ready? And I say, can you go 3 minutes without putting alcohol in your body? They immediately go, no problem. That's faith. Hold on to that. Okay. That's faith. Right now, can you go 3 minutes without it? Pick up the phone and call your probation officer and over communicate to the point where they go, hey, stop calling me. All right. Over communicate. Because here's the story that they take to the judge. Hey, Michael called. He relapsed. I had a long talk with him. He wants to get back on the beam and get back on track. Okay. All right. Second day, Michael called again. He's been clean and sober for a day. He's doing online Zoom meetings. Okay. He's actually attending meetings. He called me again today. He's got 2 days sober. Okay. And we keep doing it, and we keep doing it, and we keep doing it. They may sanction me. They may bring me in. They may lock me up for 48 hours, but that's okay because I've surrendered. I'm willing to do whatever it takes because I'm done chasing the beast. I'm done with it. I don't want to live that life anymore. Okay. So if you're trying to get sober, you're on paper. Okay. If you're on paper, which means you're on probation or on parole, and you're dirty right now, and you're watching this, okay, call your probation officer, First thing, in fact, call them right now and leave a voicemail. Call them right now, leave a voicemail, and be as completely honest as you can be. It will work in your advantage. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Well, man, they're going to lock me up. They're going to revoke my probation and all that stuff. That's your disease talking. Because guess what? If you're drinking and you're paranoid and you're looking over your shoulder, you're already in prison. You hear me? If you're running and you're looking over your shoulder and you're drinking and shooting dope and you're paranoid, you're already in prison. You don't have to live that life anymore. Reach out, ask for help. They will help you. They will help you. Just remember, it's going to be their way. All right. So anyway, I talked to the judge. The judges, they didn't say this, but I've got the feeling the judges are nervous. Think about it. When judges put me on probation, okay, when the judges put me on probation, the judge signs her name and says, listen, state of Texas, you elected me to protect you from Michael. But I'm going to sign my name, all right? And I'm going to let him be in the free world under my supervision, but he's got to do it this way, and hopefully he can get healthy and go live a happy, joyous, and free normal life. He can learn to live life on life's terms. Also, I'm betting that he can do it instead of sending him to prison and spending millions of dollars of your tax dollars on Michael. So I'm willing to sign my name on him. Okay. That's what probation is when judges do that. We go out into the world, and just imagine how the judges are feeling right now. They're nervous. They have to be nervous right now. Okay. Because they're like going, man, I've got my signature on all these people out there in the world, and I can't monitor. How do I hold them accountable? Guess what? If you're in recovery, hey, even if you haven't relapsed and you're on probation, I challenge you, call your judge, call your probation officer, call your parole officer tonight, leave a voicemail and say, hey, I just wanted to be proactive and check in with you to let you know I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm unemployed. I'm hurting right now. The world's a different place, but I want to call you, Mr. or Miss Probation Officer, to let you know that I am sober. I'm doing Zoom meetings. I'm attending meetings. Yes, I got same sickle with walls too. But do that. That is a great story to tell. And guess what? They're going to tell the judge that. You will be rewarded for that. This is just me talking. This is a great opportunity if you're on probation and you're doing your program and you're working your program and you are going through with this, and we can't report. You can't go down the report. You can't do UAs, but you're calling and checking in, and you're over communicating, letting them know, hey, judge, you signed your name for me to be out in the free world. I want to over communicate with you that I got you, judge. I got you. I'm a man of my word, and I'm living up to my word. I'm clean and sober. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they let you off probation early. I'm not telling you that's what they're going to do, but it wouldn't surprise me. I see it. I see it all the time of people who are working their program, doing the deal, doing what they say they're going to do, and they get blessed and they get off probation early. So that is out there. So that's my message to all of y'all out there. Probation and court slips, my gift certificates. Yes. Yeah. So anyways, I will be, the judges were working on getting me back down to the Dallas County Courthouse to speak to everyone down there to get that off and running. Hey, you're seeing behind me the YouTube logos. We are on a huge YouTube campaign. When we get off the air, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go do that. We've got to kick over 1,000 subscribers. YouTube has changed the rules. I love the rules, but we need more subscribers. We get a lot of people that watch our shows. They just don't subscribe. So I got a note there, been told to ask that. So I need y'all to do that. So, all right. So let's talk about, if y'all have any questions about recovery today, put them in the comments. If y'all have questions, ask him too. Ask him 2 questions right now. If you're struggling on a 12-step program, put your question in the comments for M2 to answer, and I'll try to answer your questions. What step are you struggling with? Are you struggling with a step? Is there a step that you don't understand? Okay. Are you stuck on the dreaded fourth step? Put that in there. Okay. So I want to hear what you got, and let's see if I can help you. Maybe you're going to help me. As a matter of fact, when you do ask questions, you do help me. All right. Okay. Listen, the world's changing. The world is changing. Things are opening back up. Okay. We are able to move around. We're able to move around. We're able to, in fact, on Sunday, man, it's been a long day today. Sunday, I was a chairperson of a support group meeting. I attended a meeting yesterday. Yes, so the meetings are opening back up. There was 25 people there. The chairs were spread apart. Masks they weren't mandatory, but people wore masks. I chaired the meeting. It was a great meeting, and so it was good. So I went to a support group meeting. But what about the people who have never attended support group meetings, and you don't know what they are? So hold on one second. So Lisa Hoffman, I have not done the steps, but want to hear what you have to say, y'all. The phone used to weigh 500 pounds. LOL to ask for help. Yes, it did, Denise. Yes, it did. Sometimes it still does weigh 500 pounds. Okay. Lisa, the 12 Steps is a 12-step program that is in Google it, the history of the 12 Steps that was created by Bill Wilson, Dr. Bob, and the Oxford Group movement. It started in Alcoholics Anonymous is where the 12 Steps started, where it really got publicized, and the 12 Steps. And it's simply 12 suggested steps to the first 3 steps. It taught me, my personal experience, how to trust God. That's what it did. And then steps 4 through 11, I cleaned house. I got to clean the inside out of why I get to finally answer the reason why I would drink and do drugs. And then step 12 is helping others. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we carry the message to the alcoholic or drug addict or sex addict or gambler or whoever, codependent, that still suffers. That's where we share our experience, strength, and hope to other people, to the newcomer, right? So challenge you to do that. You can go on our YouTube account and look. Once a month, I go through the entire 12 steps in one show. So that show is coming up, but I haven't done it yet this month. We're on the 8th day, but it's always a good show. It's a good show for me to rip right through the 12 steps. So thank you for your question, Lisa. Recovery group meetings. What are they? What are recovery group meetings? Okay. Recovery group, they call it psychotherapy, is where a group of people come together and they have meetings, and there's group etiquette. There is group, not rules, but it's where they go by. So I'm going to walk through, and like I said, we don't represent any recovery group. We don't wave a flag for CA or HA or AA or anything like that. But I'm going to use AA as an example of the group, the structure of the group, how a group works, because there are people who are getting off of Zoom meetings and going to their very first support group meeting. And that could be scary. What about the person who is getting sober on virtual meetings, and the virtual meetings are dissipating and going down, and they can't find a virtual meeting, and they are forced, or it's suggested that they go to a support group meeting? And what if they're comfortable and it's scary to go be around people? Okay. What if it's like that? I'm going to walk you through what happens. When you attend a support group meeting, there are different types of meetings. Let's talk about the different types of meetings. For this show, we're going to talk about AA, okay? NA, CA, there's HA, there is CMA, Crystal Meth Anonymous. So there are all these different types of group. But for tonight, we're going to use the AA model on how a support group works. There are different meetings. There are what's called closed meetings. What is a closed meeting? A closed support group meeting is when you attend the meeting, all right? The only requirement for membership for an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting to be in a closed meeting is the desire to not drink for 24 hours, okay? So if you're a heroin addict and you walk into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and you sit down and you sit there and you say, well, alcohol is not my problem. I'm a drug addict and heroin is my problem. You might be greeted by a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, taken to another room saying, this room is for alcoholics only. I've seen it happen, okay? But if you say, I have a desire not to drink, you will stay. You will be there. Because, see, listen, in the 12-step program, the only time alcohol is ever used is in step 1, all right? So there are people that will introduce themselves as, I'm a drug addict alcoholic. They stay, okay? So a closed meeting is for alcoholics only, all right? Then there are open meetings. The open meetings are usually a speaker meeting, okay, where somebody is telling their lead, telling their story. So you can bring your family members in, and it's alcoholics and non-alcoholics in the meeting, all right? And sometimes there are what's called newcomer open meetings. So it's for newcomers. Maybe you just got out of treatment and you're visiting an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting for the very first time. And it might be an open meeting so you can bring your loved one or your family member. Now, if it is not an open meeting and you bring, let's say that I bring my wife, who is not an alcoholic, it is not uncommon for the chairperson to assist. It's all nice that the wife needs to go into another room because it is a closed meeting and people want to remain anonymous, and where the room is where people can relate. All right. I hope this makes sense. So that's an open meeting and a closed meeting. Once you attend the meeting and you sit down in the room, okay, the chairperson will start the meeting and they will read a preamble, okay? Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who commonly share their experience, strength, and hope. Whoop-de-woo-woo-woo. Okay, and they share this preamble. Then they go around the room and everybody introduces themselves. Okay, now this is a great form of step 1. So as they go around the room, they introduce themselves. They'll come to me and I'll say, hey, I'm Michael. I'm an alcoholic drug addict. I've been clean and sober since May 29th, 2017. Okay, you don't have to give your sobriety date. Okay. Some people will just go, Michael alcoholic. They say, hey, Michael. Or I may go, Michael alcoholic drug addict. Hey, Michael. Or I may go, Michael alcoholic drug addict. I've been sober all day. Hey, Michael. Okay. As long as I announce myself as an alcoholic and a drug addict, I'm doing step 1. I'm admitting why I'm there. I check the box off to be able to sit in the meeting, in a closed meeting. Plus, people get to know me. Okay. The neat thing about saying your sobriety date is because the newcomer can watch and see who's got the most sobriety, and they may want to come ask you a question after the meeting. Once they go around the room, then the chairperson announces a topic, okay? And the chairperson, usually there's a standard topic for each night that the group conscience puts together, a curriculum, all right? And they will do a topic, all right? And a lot of times the chairperson will say, I'm going to read the topic, and then I'm going to call on people to share. Now, you may be sitting in your chair going, oh my God, please don't call on me. Let me comfort you. If you get called on, you simply do this. My name is Michael. I'm an alcoholic. Thanks for calling on me. I'm just going to listen today. That's simple. That's simple. Or if you get called on to talk, okay, I'm Michael. I'm an alcoholic, and and when I start sharing, I share on the topic, or I share on something that pertains to alcoholism. Because if I come out and I start sharing about how much I hate the president of the United States, the chairperson is going to stop me, okay, and say, we need to talk about alcoholism. We need to talk about the solution of what the topic is. And what happens in these meetings is it is great because you hear people talk about the topic. For example, the topic is resentment. Okay. The number one offender, it kills more alcoholics than anything else. And everybody goes around and shares their experience about having a resentment and what their solution is today on how they get through the resentment. Man, it's so you just start nodding your head like going, oh man. And you start getting these tools on how to handle life. You start getting these tools. And as they go around the room before the meeting, they will also, if you're a newcomer, okay, when they start the meeting, they will ask a man to raise his hand and they will introduce him as the men's newcomers rep. Okay. Then they will pick a woman and she will raise her hand and she will be the women's newcomers rep. Now, if you are a woman new to the program, you go talk to this lady afterwards. When you announce your name, hey, I'm Michael. I'm an alcoholic. I just got out of treatment. This is my very first Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Okay. The newcomers rep will get a packet and have all the men, they sign their name on it. They put their phone numbers on it. And then after the meeting, he meets with you and introduces you to these men, and you have these phone number from the men. Men work with men, women work with women. Okay. So this is the concept of a support group meeting. Okay. So you have a men's newcomers rep and a women's newcomers rep. Now, if you're a newcomer, I highly suggest that after the meeting, hang around, get to know people. Okay. I'm going to really challenge you if you're a newcomer, hang around and ask the chairperson how you can be of service to that group. Say, listen, I just got out of treatment. I want to get connected in the group. What can I do around this room? Can I clean it up? Can I stack the chairs? Can I help straighten the books up? What can I do to be of service? Because we want to get connected immediately, okay? And get to know these men. Same thing, women, okay? The women get to know the women. There's also available literature in these rooms, okay? Now, let's say that you're a down and out alcoholic and you just came in, you have no money or no nothing. A lot of times the group will have a benevolence fund where they will give you a book. A lot of times there is a member in the group that will purchase a book for you, okay? But these support group meetings are not banks. They're not lending institutions. So don't go in there with expectations that people are going to lend you money. This is not what we're there for. We're there to get clean and sober. All right. So that's what these are. Now, there's different types of meetings every night. There is a newcomers meeting. Okay. There'll be a newcomers meeting one night. Always attend. If you're a newcomer, go to the newcomers meeting. If you're an old timer, go to the newcomers meeting. It's my favorite meeting out of all the meetings. Okay. And usually the topic is on steps 1, 2, and 3. I can't, he can, I think I'll let him. Steps 1 is we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives are unmanageable. So a lot of times the old timers will share at the beginning. And then the second half of the meeting, the newcomers will jump out there and share. Powerful. Oh my God, it's powerful. I talk about step 2, came to believe there's a power greater than ourselves to restore us to sanity. Okay. And they will do that. And then step 3 is made a decision to turn our will and life over to the care of God as we understand him. So that's a newcomers meeting structure. That's the outline of it. Then there are women's meeting. Okay. There are women's meeting, obviously, for women. So there are women out there, maybe I'm just making stuff up. Maybe they're traumatized. Maybe they're in early recovery and and they're traumatized and they're scared of men. There are women's meetings, okay? Or there are times where just women need to be with women, okay? But guess what? There's men's meetings too. They call it a stag meeting or wherever they call it. So these are powerful meetings where men are together. It's just a men's meeting. A lot of times the men's meetings are on Saturday mornings. It just that kind of figures like that. That's it. That's kind of the way it is in our area. And then obviously the women's meeting, and then there's newcomers meetings. Then there are speaker meetings. Okay. Then the speaker meetings is usually an open meeting where someone they'll ask me to come and share my story. And when I share my story, and if you ever get invited to share your story and you don't know what to say, here's a very simple template that I was taught is that you share very little of what it was like. Okay. So if you're speaking for an hour and you're 45 minutes into telling your story and you're still talking about getting high in the 6th grade, you may not be getting ready to get sober. But we talk very little about, what it was like, but we talk a lot about what happened, the spiritual awakening, the awakening where I knew that something happened. I was changing. And then what it's like today. How in the heck are you staying clean and sober today? And that is a speaker meeting. Then there is what's called a 12 and 12 meeting. And a 12 and 12 meeting is where the chairperson will pick a step for that night to talk about. Usually they log it in the book, and they'll say, like last week we talked about step 1. A lot of times it's the month of the year. So if it's the 6th month of the year, the topic is step 6. You'll notice that. There is a traditions meeting, and that's where they have meetings about the traditions of the program. So it's the traditions. The traditions teach us how to live in the rooms, right? And so that's what the traditions basically talks about anonymity. It's not the rules; it's just the traditions, and the traditions are awesome. The traditions that's really I say this a lot. I was taught the traditions of 12-step recovery right when I got out of prison by some old timers. And I truly attribute that's why this show has been going as long as it has, because I respect their traditions. I respect anonymity. I respect all of that. These support groups are powerful, and they're way bigger than me. So your anonymity is very important to me. Obviously, I'm not anonymous, okay? But my anonymity of my support group meetings that I attend is very important to me. I don't tell anybody unless it's a one-on-one private meeting or private message where I go, okay? And I also ask that people respect my anonymity, okay? So it's very important that we do that. Why is that important? Because if I were to twist off tonight and just lose my mind and relapse, okay, I don't want any support group organization or meeting to get a bad rap. You know what I mean? Because I don't want them to be getting a bad rap. So we protect these groups that we go to. So I have the utmost respect for that. So that's a traditions meeting. So you have step meetings, you have step study meetings, you have tradition meetings. So they shake it up. The meetings, this is good. Meeting times. Okay. So you can actually go now for just tonight. We are using AA as a talking point. Okay. A talking point. So you can go to literally Google, or the website is aa.org. If you go to aa.org, you can find any meeting in the world on their website. Okay. And it will show you meetings there in a major city like Dallas. Okay. Let's use Dallas as an example. There is a meeting location within 4 square miles of where I'm standing at all times. That's how many meetings are there. That's how many groups are out there and meetings. So you can find a meeting. Okay. And so they're available. And so you call. If you're traveling, you can find meetings. They're everywhere. And now with Zoom, who knows what's going to be happening now with the online meetings. So it's going to be interesting to watch. All right. So these are the type of meetings. They have birthday night. Okay. So birthday night is usually they pick one Saturday of the month. What a celebration it is that people bring in potluck, they bring food in, it's a celebration, and they introduce recipients for who has celebrated a birthday, usually the month prior. So in June, you'll be celebrating the birthdays from May, and you have a chairperson, and the person's sponsor will come up, or whoever they pick, but usually it's a sponsor, and the sponsor will stand up and say some good words about the recipient, and then that person will come up and get a token of celebration of the years of sobriety that they are celebrating, and it is a great, great fun night. So, do you have meetings 24/7 in Dallas? We just have from 6 a.m. Denise, yeah, I mean, I think they're in Dallas. I don't think like you can go to a meeting at 3 o'clock in the morning, not that I know of, but yeah, 6 a.m. to midnight is the same thing here. So there are some, I've heard of places where there's meetings all night. So anyways, that is there's birthday night. And then let's see, I think I covered, and if I missed something, y'all put it in the comments, but that's the template for AA. And so I wanted to have that discussion because there are a lot of people out there that chose to get sober during the pandemic that have never attended support group meetings in their life. And now, as they got, 20 days sober, 25 days sober, as these support groups dissipate on Zoom, get smaller, they're like, wait a minute, where'd everybody go? I'm losing connection here. Well, they've gone back to their rooms. What do you mean their rooms? And that's what I just described. These are the rooms, the recovery rooms that are available for people who are in recovery. Now, these recovery rooms are available for alcoholics, drug addicts, cocaine, codependent. Okay. So there's Al-Anon, alanon.org. So Al-Anon is for the codependent. They're for the other side. If you're not an addict or an alcoholic, and this is where the codependent goes to work a program. So it's the exact same program. Instead of drugs and alcohol being on their step one, Michael is on their step one. Okay, so they are addicted to Michael, and that becomes their drug of choice. And as a result of me, their life has become unmanageable. Yes, I like that, Denise. So 90 meetings in 90 days for newcomers. So if you're a newcomer, Denise has just put up here a suggestion. It's kind of been an old school template. Do I go to meetings every day? Well, did you drink every day? Yeah, you go to meetings every day. But to be nice to yourself, if that starts getting way out there, go to a meeting just today. Okay, let's go one day at a time. But I love what Denise has suggested out there. Suggested to go to 90 days in 90 meetings in 90 days. That's 90 meetings in 90 days. You want to go. You want to get a sponsor. A sponsor is an accountability partner, and a sponsor's job is simply one thing, and that's to walk you through the 12 steps. Sponsor is not to give you rides. A sponsor is not to feed you. A sponsor is not to lend you money. Now it's all different, but that's the standard template. A sponsor is to walk you through the 12 steps. A sponsor it's very normal that a sponsor becomes a very good friend, very tight, and an intimate relationship happens. But the reset button and the main deal is to walk you through the 12 steps. Once you walk through the 12 steps with a sponsor, there's a very special bond that is created. I see Rachel Stacy said, I went to 270 meetings in 90 days. Yeah, I get that. And there are, we still attend a lot of meetings. I did a lot of meetings too. We're a meeting family, Rachel, I know she was at a meeting tonight at 6:30 on Zoom. I did not attend a meeting today, but believe me, I've been in recovery all day. I talk about it every day, all day. So, but yeah, meetings are great. This show does not count as a meeting for me. Okay. There are groups that I do at Healing Springs Ranch that the way that I count it as a meeting for me is where I go, I feel something spiritual happen. And I mean, and if I didn't drink or do drugs, then it's working for me. Okay. Um, so 90 meetings in 90 days. Listen, just try that. So if if after 90 days your life hasn't changed, are you ready? We will gladly refund you all your misery. Okay. But I promise you, check this out. I promise you, you attend 90 meetings in 90 days. Okay. I suggest that in those 90 days, don't drink alcohol. Okay. Listen, Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever, they never tell you not to drink. It's just suggested. It is suggested that this program works so much better when there's no alcohol in my system. Okay. Isn't that great? Go 90 days without alcohol. And right now, if you're like going, wait a minute, there's no way I can do that. Let's back up. Can you go 5 minutes without a drink? Boom. Oh, yeah, no problem, M2. I got this. I got this. Okay. Then hold on to that. That's faith. Just start adding it up. Okay. 90 meetings in 90 days. And I promise you, your life will be incredibly different. So, anyways, that's what I want to talk about tonight. And let's review everything. Joyce Morrison tomorrow night, Mrs. Texas 2019. Pamela Ruda will be here Thursday night. Thursday night, we're working on a Wednesday night. We're going to be getting Melissa Caldwell-Ingle from Healing Springs Ranch on the show. This is National PTSD Awareness Month, the month of June. Okay. June is Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Month. Recently, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary gave a statement on the importance of this challenging and debilitating condition. PTSD is an anxiety disorder that some people develop after seeing or living through an event that caused or threatened serious harm or death. PTSD may result in sleep problems, irritability, anger, recurrent dreams about the trauma, intense reactions to reminders of the trauma, disturbances in relationships, and isolation. Some people may recover a few months after the event, but for others, it may even take years. For some, PTSD may begin long after the events occur. However, PTSD can be treated. So we're going to be talking about PTSD a lot this month. I've gone through horrible PTSD. I have triggers. I have flashbacks. Okay. And the great thing about triggers and flashbacks is I recognize it. A lot of times I didn't know I was having a trigger or a flashback, but today I recognize it and I have solutions to that. So, okay, guys, we've kicked off the week. I appreciate you guys. And just remember this, I got 3 words. I got 8 letters, and it's got one meaning, and that is I love you. Thank you, Healing Springs Ranch, and thank you, DFW Coin and Jewelry. We will see you tomorrow night. Good night.